Ted Flett here with Golden Skate, and I'm joined by John Zimmerman, who is now the new coach to the French team of Vanessa James and Morgan Cipres, who debuted their Grand Prix, season here at Skate America in Chicago. Can you tell us a bit about, who called who first, or how this new coaching and the training shift came about?
Well, I think Vanessa got in contact with some people, and they were interested in, 2 years out from the Olympics. They were interested in trying to investigate what they need to do to get them to the top. She gave me a call. They looked at some tapes from some of my pro stuff, and I guess some of the resumes that we've had. So when we got word from her in April, we decided we can, Sylvia and I pretty much decided we would love to work with her. We did a research. We talked with them a lot. We talked with DDA, the president of the federation, and got a lot of insight from them, and made some, weighed it out and determined that we think we can provide something for them. So.
Okay. Now, did you happen to see them skate in Boston at the World Championships?
Not live
have they ever been on your radar in any way?
Oh, certainly, yeah. They're an exciting, dynamic team. I definitely know who they are. I didn't watch them at Worlds at the time, but I had seen it through the YouTube videos, and always felt like what a lot of people think is that they have the potential. And after working with them, once they came, and I didn't really say a whole lot or do a whole lot with them for about the first week, and we just played around and tinkered with things, and they were sort of getting back into shape at that point. They had taken a long a tour and some time off. So when they came back to me, I didn't push anything too hard at the very beginning. I just wanted to see what they can bring to me. Mm-hmm. And they're two absolute most amazing athletes, individually and as a team. So I'm very excited to work with them. Anytime I asked them to try something, they would do it 100% and then some, and add great value of their own interest and knowledge and what they wanted to try to do with it. So it really felt like it was going to be a great thing.
Mm-hmm. I think you said it, that this is a team that has so much potential, and the skating community has seen that for a number of years. But they've sort of sat there at around the 10th place sort of ranking in terms of the World Championships, even though they have all the goods and chemistry and the aesthetic. I mean, great looking team,
people,
members, that could really skyrocket to the top. What do you think has held them back thus far?
Well, I think themselves, in a way. I think being a little frustrated, being in that trapped area between the no man's land, like 6th through 10th, is kind of you can get kind of stuck in that mindset. And it's very hard to break out of it, but you have to figure out a way to come in and do something different the next year. I think for me and my team, Sylvia Fontana, Jeremy Barrett, and John Kerr, myself, we put together 4 minds, and we try to put together what we can do for them. As far as the program, as far as the training, how we train. Mm-hmm. I think that they've expressed that they feel like they're getting a lot of great training. We have great programs for them this year. I feel really excited about them. Tonight at Skate America for the long, we didn't do the best potential at all for this. So, we're all disappointed in that. But, we have to come back and think long term anyway, and what we're looking at Europeans, we're looking at Worlds, so still it's very short time that we've all worked together in the scheme of things. Mm-hmm. My big takeaway from tonight, and I was just talking to Sylvia about this, is that beyond, the program's pretty much there. We have a little bit to tinker with for short and long. So right now we just got to work on their minds and work on the competitive aspect, how to compete, what to do, how to not worry technically about things, because pretty much we all know that they can do it. Right. They don't perform things because when they don't perform things, I think it's because they are lacking the tools to compete. Mm-hmm. So, my coach Tamara Muscafina was the ambassador of all that. She knows how to do that. So
she has a massive toolbox.
Yeah. Well, I'm drawing from her all the time I can, you know, and with whatever we can to look into their minds and souls and try to figure out what we need to do to get out of them the best.
The fact that there isn't necessarily a very deep pairs figure skating tradition in France, does that make it difficult for this team as well? In terms of, I mean, they can't exactly go home and, you know, find a great, you know, sort of training center necessarily.
Well, you know, I think that's why they came out here to Florida, where we are, and to train there. Okay. I think there's a lot of things with this team that's going on, and I think they're maybe too aware of all the things. You know, they're a great team in a country that, you know, they stand out. They know that they could do things. They feel that they have the potential, but they stand out there and they get out on the ice, and I think that they feel they could, but I think that gets in their way instead of just focusing on just doing what they know to do. And you know, I remember my first couple years with Tamara. For me, with Kyoko at the time, Kyoko Ina, she had already done it a lot. So when I was riding that big wave with Kyoko, all these big competitions, it was all new to me. So I'm just aware too much of everything that's external instead of me. And I feel like a little bit of that's what's going on with them. So we're trying to get them to focus on and trust what they can do more. So I got to figure out how to do that.
Right. You know, Vanessa said earlier that she really identified with, you know, with your team. So you and Kyoko as a team were two very athletic, you know, individuals skating together. There was, of course, you were known as a bit more of the artist and she the technician, but both very skilled, capable, separate figure skaters. That she identifies with that. Have you talked about that, or is that something that's sort of... A little
bit. I mean, these are the things that I'm realizing now as the past week leading up to this competition, we're going to really have to get her focused on, and Morgan focused on, the what to think about, how to think about things. It's not just do your tricks, it's how to handle, you know, being focused and not thinking about things outside, you know, and trusting what makes you confident, what makes you good, you know. One of my things with Kyoko is that I like to be the performer. She was always could land her jumps, you know, without a problem. So, you know, these are the things that we had to work on.
Can you tell me about the selection of the music and what sort of led you towards the short program music and the very different, sort of polar opposites, long program music?
Well, the short program, we were trying to balance out what they wanted to do and what we were feeling. So they came off with The Mask originally, the movie from The Mask. And coaches were a little kind of on the fence about it because I felt like it was fast and it was done so much. But they wanted to do it, and if you know, we needed them to feel confident and empowered. So we did it, we tried it, and the skaters came back the very next day almost saying we need to try something else. So we decided, this was maybe a week before the Autumn Classic. So we did a little local competition, didn't go great the way they wanted, where we felt the direction was going to go. So we changed it. Was
there a bit of a I told you so, or no?
No. I mean, we're all adults. I mean, maybe we joked about it, but it wasn't anything serious. But we didn't have any time to do that. We had time to sit at a table, and we all had a meeting. We sat there for about an hour, and like I said, with John Kerr and Jeremy and Sylvia and myself, we feed off each other really well, and we can help each other really identify what needs to be for the team. So we sat there with the team, discussed music, went through some options, and within an hour we came up with Earned It by The Weeknd from 50 Shades of Grey, and got to work right away.
Was it the four of you or the six of you?
Well, the four coaches and the two athletes.
So six of people in 60 minutes can come up with a short program concept.
Sure, yeah.
That's
and within probably, I think the very next day, we were already getting the program laid out because we had a week. So we did that program and choreographed it and ran it within a week at the Autumn Classic. So
is that a record for you?
I've never seen anything like it. All of us were, you know, it was still warm by the time we were putting it on the ice, you know, the program. So that was great. Obviously, it still needs a lot more mileage. You know, it has about 3 weeks on it. So to come out here, Skate America, I thought they did a pretty heroic job thinking about things. But, you know, we need to stay focused all the way through. Mm-hmm. They get a little nervous about certain things creeping up on them in the middle of the program. It's just how we handle ourselves, and that is something that, like I said, we all have to kind of figure out how to work on this on a daily basis, on an hourly basis.
Sure.
The long program was kind of come up, I think John Carrick brought it out, and we're all a little hesitant, thinking maybe it was too heavy, too powerful.
Okay.
But we played it a couple times, and we're like, this has got to be it. And we started working on that program actually first, and that just fit. We all felt the power of that music may be pretty heavy and hard, but a little raw, but I felt like it matched them. We all felt like that describes how they skate, you know? And if they can match that power with that music and keep it clean, it feels like an amazing program. Everyone, we always get chill bumps when we watch that program, and there's certain elements hit the music right. It's just pretty powerful.
Right. Now, the quad Saukow is a regular element that obviously they're attempting in the long program.
Correct.
And as well, she's now doing the arms above the head on the
right.
throw flip. Well,
yeah.
And I think the flip itself, the throw flip is new. Is a new element for them, is it?
I think they had been doing that, but
okay.
We had probably 3 weeks into it. I was just like, it's just such a massive, awesome jump, and I was like, let's try with the arms up, because I was thinking we were probably watching Adam Rippon do his Lutz, and we were thinking, let's do the Rippon flip.
Yeah.
And if anyone's going to try it, it's going to be her. I've always kind of wanted to see something like that happen, and she was game for it, and we took about 3 or 4 weeks, and we were almost on the fence of like, is it worth it or not? I think when it hits that program and it hits it right, it's pretty astounding to see that.
Okay. When you say she was keen, I mean, what do we not know? What would a spectator not know about Vanessa James that you know? I mean, is she quite hungry?
She, you know, you can't stand in her way when she's about to go out there and skate. I mean, if you get near her, she will run you down. And you know, most girls, pair girls, especially at this level, have a certain DNA, you know, of, you know, blood, sweat, and tears. It's all what it's about. And I feel like she just is probably one of the quintessential ones I've ever seen. It just has that determination, you know. But like I said, you know, being that and being, you know, she is a fierce competitor, and so we need to just get that working all the time now.
So last question, what are your goals or hopes for this team as you evolve over the course of the season? I know you said you're looking towards, as a slow burn, towards Europeans and Worlds. What are you hoping to accomplish between now and then then what are you hoping that those events look like? Well,
to me, I feel like, and like all this is kind of new for tonight because it wasn't a great result for this first Grand Prix. But you know, it's you can't look at it like a disappointment, but we have to look at it as what it is, you know. And Tamara taught me this too when I was first at these Grand Prix. She had her main goals were always nationals or worlds, and not even the Grand Prix. And I didn't understand that at the beginning. I mean, at the end of the day, it's always about the world placement. And if you focus on all these small competitions too early, it's a long season. Right now, that's where we're at. I feel like it's okay. You know, it does sting, but you know, we have to look at what we're going to do to get back on track. And if Europeans is our first major thing, but before that we have Trophy La Ligue and we have Trophy Bompard. Yeah. And so we need to quickly do our homework on that. I'm not too worried about these tricks and about these elements. I'm just worried. I'm more focused on what we're going to have to do to get back, and because I'm still learning the team, so it's been still a short time. So getting back on track, getting back in the race again really fast without missing a beat. So.
Great. Well, we look forward to seeing how this team evolves over the course of the season under your coaching. Thanks so much for talking to us today.
Thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.